Why'd you settle here? Up at dawn, working the crops, rain or shine.
You'll discover there's worse arrangements.
Paul's a good man, Wyatt.
I ain't him.
Stop fretting about it.
You know, it's a Wild West fairy tale. That's how I like to think of it. You know, and that beautiful environment and playing with history a bit is really unique. And, you know, it without begging the question, how did that come to you? I mean, that just seems so Wild West.
You know, the story was originally written based on the location. It was a man. The original script was called Old Dan, or the original idea was Old Dan. So it didn't start that way, but you know, when Hideout and Shout Studios partnered, it was, you know, we kind of realized that basing things or getting into actual historical moments or historical characters just adds a little. So that was easy because in this case, this is one of my favorite historical characters. And so doing the digging and research and kind of tying that in was pretty easy. And then of course, when Tim came on, you know, Tim and I spent a good month just watching movies and reading books. And so, you know, we had such a great time collaborating on this character and really bringing more of the verbiage and the little mannerisms and stuff from this authentic character to life. So I think, you know, that was really Tim and I just collaborating for hours a day, you know, leading up to production. So it was a lot of fun though. That was probably my favorite part of this process.
Is he alive?
Barely.
What do you think happened? Some kind of shootout?
Stay here and keep an eye on him.
You play a hardworking farmer with a rebellious son named Wyatt. And, you know, they're living in this idyllic area and trouble comes knocking one day. And the fact that you're in these wide open spaces suddenly creates so much anxiety. Tell me about, you know, working in that environment and with that sudden change of meaning.
A real thrill of working in film is that unless you're doing something that's wildly stylized, the artifice of it is to immerse the audience in something utterly real. So you get verisimilitude in the production design, the look, the clothes, everything. And that's the movies. So it's really exciting to be in the real places. It does so much of your work for you as an actor. And that was absolutely true here because Potsy had chosen this insanely perfect location. It just felt like I was there playing the scenes Potsy had written. Being in a movie with a really strong director who's assembled a great crew.
Riders, there's gonna be 3 of them.
I'm Sheriff Sam Ketchum. We've been scouting for a man on the run. He's dangerous.
So you live there, you hunt, you know, you have to do some hunting, I would think. You can't just live on pigs alone. And you know, it's vast and it's can be dangerous there. So how did he explain that he never taught his son how to shoot?
You know, it was something that was in him naturally. So I think there's a fear in Tim that piece that exists in his son. There's a piece of him that if exposed to things, it will come out. And then once it comes out, it's going to get carried away like he did when he was younger. And so, you know, I think they're raised on, you know, growing crops and pigs. And, you know, we don't have scenes where he's hunting and stuff. It's like they raise pigs, they slaughter them. They grow the things they need to eat. And, you know, I'm sure that there's some trading with some things that's in town 30 or 40 minutes away, but for the most part, yeah, it's not, you know, he doesn't even let Wyatt go hunting with his uncle. It's that he's sheltering him that much from his mistakes of the past. So So I think it's overprotection, and that's why, Wyatt inevitably seeks out, to do these things on his own. So
Last name McCarty.
That's right.
First name.
Henry.
It's just so natural. It's phenomenal. And Potsy, I wonder if you can explain a little bit what you wanted the landscape and the sky and the weather to tell us.
In Westerns, you have to have that expanse. You have to have the big, wide open areas. And so, and then our house was very small. Once we got in there and started walking around and kind of looking at shots, we realized, oh, this is like, some of the ceilings were only 6 feet tall. So we really had to shoot from room to room. But that lent itself to making the inside feel very close and safe, where the outside felt very wide and dangerous. And so, John Matashak, he was the DP, we would sit out there and kind of just walk through the scenes and shot list things and really look at everything. And I remember the first time we kind of gave Tim a tour of the property, we got to the top of this huge hill and we were looking out and we were saying, you'll be up here and the bad guys will be way down there in the valley. And I think Tim, not exact quote, but he was like, "Oh, we're making a real Western. This feels very like you're really paying attention to the distance." And I appreciate that. Like the distance in all the shots. And I think that was something we set out to do. And when he said that, I was like, all right, we did it.
Some shaky old farmer.
He didn't hold that pistol like any farmer I've ever seen.
Listen to me.
Of course, the rebellious teenager is an ageless tradition. That's just what teenagers are. And why was he so angry with his father? I mean, beyond not letting him shoot and be like a regular man, what was his problem?
I mean, to me, that's a universal thing. Kids will get mad at you for just about anything. So, but there is there's a struggle to prevent them from making mistakes. And there's a little bit of overprotection we do in order to do that. But in the end of the day, they're going to find a way to make those mistakes and more. And you just have to kind of be there to say, okay, do we learn and move on? But I think Wyatt, I don't know. I think his anger just comes from the restrictions Tim has placed on him, and also not having that motherly side. He's only been raised by Tim for the last 10 years. So, he hasn't gotten too much of a nurturing hand.
You got a lot of fight for a farmer.
You have no idea the hailstorm you fixing to let loose.
Consider me properly warned. Where'd you come from?
Every place on earth but this.
Who are you, Paul?